Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where machine learning meets simplicity. In our last lecture, we explored the theory of multivariate linear regression in detail, how it works, the math behind it, and why it's such a powerful tool in prediction. And today, it's time to move from theory to practice. We will dive into the practical implementation of multivariate regression using Python step by step. You will see how we can take real world data with multiple features and build a model that makes accurate predictions. So if you are ready to turn concepts into code, don't forget to hit like and let's jump right in. Perfect. Let's start by importing the necessary libraries. First, we import NumPy for handling arrays and matrix operations. Then we bring in matplotlib to help us plot graphs later. And finally, we import the California housing dataset directly from scikit-learn. This dataset contains real-world data on California homes, including features like median income, number of rooms, and average occupancy, which makes it perfect for our regression task. Here we load the dataset into the variable data. X stores the input features and Y stores the target values, which is the median house value in each district. We also reshape Y to a column vector so it's compatible with our model later. Instead of using all the features, we select just 3 for simplicity. AVE rooms, average number of rooms, AVE occup, average occupancy per household, and median income. Feature names helps us print the actual names of the selected features. This line filters our dataset to keep only selected 3 columns. Finally, we print the selected feature names and the shapes of X and Y just to confirm everything is loaded and structured correctly. Now that we have selected our features and prepared the dataset, let's visualize our data in a 3D space to better understand how these features relate to the target value, which is the median house price. So here's the 3D scatter plot that we just created using our selected features. Average number of bedrooms per household, average occupancy per household, and median income of the block. These 3 features are shown on the X, Y, and Z axis respectively. Each dot in this plot represents a housing block in California. And here's the interesting part. The color of each point represents the median house value in that area, ranging from dark purple, low prices, to bright yellow, high prices. Now that we have understood the data visually, let's go into the core logic of building a multivariate linear regression model from scratch without using any high-level libraries like scikit-learn for training. The first thing we need to do is initialize the model parameters, which are the weight and bias. Since we are working with multiple input features, we create a weight vector of small random values. This helps in breaking symmetry and allows the model to learn each feature differently. We also set the bias term to 0 initially. Next, we define the prediction function. This is the standard linear regression formula. We take the dot product of the input feature and the weight vector and add the bias. The result is our predicted value y hat, which is the model's correct guess for the house price. To train the model, we need to evaluate how good or bad the predictions are. For that, we use the mean squared error, MSE, as our cost function. This calculates the average of the squared difference between predicted value and actual values. It helps us understand how far off the predictions are, and our goal is to minimize this cost. Once we have the cost, we also need a way to improve our model, and that's where gradients come in. We compute the gradient of the cost function with respect to both weights and bias. This gives us the direction in which we need to adjust our parameters during training. The weight gradients are computed using the transpose of the input matrix, and the bias gradient is the average error across all examples. These functions together, initialization, prediction, cost computation, and gradient calculation, form the foundation of gradient descent. In the next step, we will actually use them to train the model iteratively and update the parameters to reduce the error. Now that we have defined all the core functions including prediction, loss, and gradients, it's time to bring everything together and train our multivariate regression model using gradient descent. First, we define our hyperparameters. We are going to train the model for 200 epoch, which means the full dataset will be used 200 times to update the model. And we set the learning rate to 0.01. The learning rate controls how big our update steps are during training. Then we extract the number of samples and features from our data. Based on the number of features, we initialize the weights and bias using our earlier functions. We also prepare an empty list to store the loss values over time so that we can visualize the learning progress later. Next, we enter the training loop. This loop will run once for each epoch. Inside the loop, we start by using our current weight and bias to make predictions for all the data points. Then we calculate the loss, which tells us how far off those predictions are from the actual house prices. After that, we compute the gradients of the loss with respect to the weight and bias. These gradients tell us in which direction we need to adjust the parameters to reduce the error. Using these gradients, we update the weight and bias by subtracting the product of the learning rate and the gradient. This is the essence of gradient descent, gradually tweaking the model parameters to minimize the error. We store the current loss in our list for plotting later, and every 20 epoch or at the very last one, we print the epoch number and the corresponding loss. This helps us track how well the model is learning as training progresses. After running this loop, we will have a trained model with optimized weights and bias ready to make predictions on new housing data. Here you can see the loss values printed after every 20 epoch during training. At epoch 0, the loss starts at 2.76, which is quite high. That's expected because our weights were randomly initialized. But as the training progresses, the loss drops rapidly. By epoch 20, it's already down to 0.35, showing that our model is learning quickly and improving its predictions. From that point on, the improvement becomes more gradual. You can see that between epoch 40 and epoch 199, the loss continues to decrease, but very slowly, from 0.35 61 to 0.3538. This gradual flattening of the loss indicates that our model is converging, meaning it is reached a point where additional training doesn't significantly reduce error. This is a classic behavior in gradient descent. Rapid learning in the beginning followed by slower fine-tuning adjustments. It confirms that our learning rate is appropriate and the model has trained successfully. Now let's take a loss curve. This graph shows how our model's error changes as training progresses. On the x-axis, we have the number of epoch, basically how many times the model has seen the full data set. On the y-axis, we have the loss or mean squared error, which tells us how far off the model's predictions are from the actual house prices. As you can see, the loss starts off very high in the beginning, but quickly drops within the first 20 to 30 epoch. This means that the model is learning rapidly in the early stages. After that, the curve flattens out, which indicates that the model has converged, meaning it's not improving much further with more training. This is a good sign. A steadily decreasing loss curve that eventually levels off suggests that our gradient descent algorithm worked correctly and the model successfully minimized the error. Now that our model is trained, let's see how well it performs on an actual data point from the dataset. We start by picking a sample, in this case, the very first data point from our input feature matrix X. We reshape it into a 2D array since our prediction function expects the input in that format. We also extract the actual target value, which is the real median house price for that sample. Then we use our trained model with the optimized weights and bias to predict the house price for the sample using the predict function. Finally, we print everything, the feature values used for prediction, the predicted price, and the actual price from the dataset. This gives us a quick way to visually compare the model's prediction with the real-world value and get a sense of how accurate our model is on individual examples. And that's how you go from raw data through training to make real predictions with multivariate linear regression, all from scratch using NumPy. Here's the output for our test sample, and it's where we see our model in action. These are the feature values for the first data point. Average bedrooms per household 1.02, average occupancy 2.55, median incomes 8.32. Based on these values, our model predicted a house price of approximately $405,000. The actual price from the dataset was around $453,000. So we are off by about $48,000, which might sound like a lot, but in real estate, especially in a large and diverse data set like this, it's actually a reasonable error for a basic linear regression model. This prediction shows that our model has learned the general patterns well. Even though it's not perfect, it gives us a solid estimate based on the input features. With more training, more data, or using more advanced models like polynomial regression or regularization, we can reduce this error even further. So in today's session, we implemented multivariate linear regression from scratch using Python and NumPy. We trained the model using gradient descent, monitored the loss reduction, and finally compared the predicted and actual values for a sample input. This practical approach helped us understand how multiple features together influence the output. In the next lecture, we will explore visualizing predictions and maybe try out real world data sets. That's it for now. Keep practicing. I will see you in the next one. Thank you.